Hello Stampers, Kelly Acheson at stampabove.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. So I've been getting a lot of questions on some of my videos, which I absolutely love. So you guys keep those questions going. But I wanted to answer a couple of them today. So this is our piercing mat, and you will most often see that covered with paper, and I've had several people ask me, what is that? What kind of paper? What are you doing with that? Why does it look like that? So I just wanted to explain to you what I'm doing here. So I want to protect my piercing mat, because if I'm stamping off the edge of my cardstock with something, I don't want it to get ink all over it. So all I do is I have a file in my desk that's filled with scratch paper. And when I was working outside the home, we would do meetings and we would print a lot of papers for the meetings, and there were leftovers. So I would always take those, as long as they weren't confidential information, I would take those home and I put them in my scrap paper file. This is nothing more than printer paper that you would put through your printer. And I just take it and center it on my piercing mat, and I wrap it around, and I've got it pretty snug here and pretty snug here. So I'm pulling it together very snugly, and I put just some Scotch tape on it to hold it in place. And that's all this is. It's just a paper piercing mat, and it's wrapped with printer paper. And then when I stamp on it, it gets all dirty. So every time I do a video, I will replace this paper. And I usually replace the paper from my stamp classes about once a month. And here are a bunch of them. You can see that these don't have a lot of ink on them, but they do have some ink. And I probably won't replace these until they get a little more, you know, little more inky. But that's what this is. It's a paper piercing mat. You will find a link under the description on my YouTube video. So go to YouTube, under the description of the video, you'll find a link where you can buy one of these paper piercing mats in my Stampin' Up store if you need one. And I use these because if you've ever had any problems stamping some of our bigger images of photopolymer stamps, or any photopolymer stamps, sometimes you can't get a good impression from them. We always thought that we needed a very hard surface to stamp on, but it turns out that this little bit of padding, and this is quite, you know, it's pretty firm, this little bit of padding really does make those larger photopolymer stamps stamp perfectly. So just a little tip there. And then for the second part of my tip video, I get a lot of people asking me questions about these boxes. I keep my stamps in them. You will see me pull them in when I'm doing a video. What are these boxes? And these are not current stamp cases. I've had several people say, oh, those are current stamp cases. They're not in the catalog because they made a mistake and didn't put them in there, but you can still order them. No, they're not. These are our old wood cases, and isn't this an antique? Lovely as a tree, we think is going to retire every year, but it never does. This is how our stamps used to come. Now they come this way or in a thicker stamp case if you do get the wood mounted stamps. These are our clear mounted stamps. And this is our old wood cases, okay? There, look at how old this is. It's just horrible looking, but I still love this stamp set. So anyways, all I did with these is I cut the lid off and I discarded that. And then I put just a piece of some thick scrap cardstock in the bottom here, because when I do my stamp classes, people put these stamps back in here ink side down, and we don't clean the stamps until we're done with the class. So this absorbs the ink in the bottom and keeps the case from getting all full of ink. And that's what this is. It is the bottom of an old wood case. So thanks you guys for the questions you're asking. I always love questions, so please feel free to leave me any comments and questions underneath the video on YouTube. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to earn your business. You can pop me an email at kelly@astampabove.com. We have a new catalog. I'm super excited about it. I would love to send you one. You can click right up here in the top right corner. That'll take you right to my blog where you'll find my online store. Use the host code when you're placing an order under $150. I always have special perks for my customers. And if you're placing an order over $150, don't use the host code. You'll get your own Stampin' Rewards and you'll still get the special perks from me. So thanks so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to join me for this video. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great week. Bye-bye.